Yo, yo, what's good though? All right, I call this one why Vivek, that's Ramaswamy, is more right than Nick Fuentes. I probably should say correct, but it's more right, okay, than Nick Fuentes and the groypers about Trump versus Kamala. Real controversial shit. News from 5D, Otis 5D.
News from 5D with Otis 5D.
All right, so this is the end of a clip with Samurai Groyper, a little Japanese American, I assume, motherfucker, talking to Charlie Kirk and Vivek. And because who gives a shit what Charlie Kirk has to say, we're just gonna skip to the end where Samurai Groyper, who's very articulate, interacts with Vivek, and I like it. I actually like it a lot. So this interaction is really good, and I agree with it. And so because this interaction is both good and because Vivek is, I think his point is better. It's really just as simple as that. I think he makes a better point, a more logical point. It's like he wins the debate. Then because of that, I am currently on the side of Vivek over Nick Fuentes and the groypers in terms of their take on Trump versus Kamala. So here we go.
About it, and I encourage
My last remark is my concern is that a Trump presidency would quell the dissidence and the dissatisfaction that's been found in the last 4 years while not fixing our problems simultaneously.
So wait, let's just make sure we understand, because I know a lot of people are dumb. So what he's saying, the thesis of the groypers, which is a good thesis, you know, I'm the part of the reason I'm making this video is like, it's a good thesis. It's basically like Trump is now like the most, he's saying he's going to be the most Zionist president in, the history of America, and, legal immigration is very good. I don't really have a super strong opinion on that, but obviously the groypers do. And that more or less, like, Trump, the kind of like anti-establishment aspect of Trump has been more or less quelled, and that the America First coalition will become so sort of like self-satisfied that they won, that they'll just keep forgiving Trump, and all of the energy, all of the righteous indignation, if you will, it'll just get quelled, as I think that's the word, or squelched, I think might even be a better word that Samurai Groyper used. And it's valid. It's an interesting point. And the idea would be that if you elect Kamala Harris, you have so much pain for the next 4 years that in 2028, you get something that is like really gets shit done. I've always been pretty skeptical of this idea because I don't think America has 4 more years of money printing left if somebody like Kamala Harris plus Janet Yellen is in charge. I'm very skeptical that the Treasury would survive that, but that's neither here nor there. Vivek makes a very good point here.
Give you one final case,
if we
and
even
then
have
we'll give a chance
if
to.
we have a country, if Kamala wins,
Shut up,
I think
Charlie
just to
Kirk.
pick up on that last point,
Shut
we can just
up.
change the whole topic to the last point you made.
Yeah, good.
Under whose presidency?
See, Vivek is good because it's like, okay, Vivek is a good debate. Vivek is a fucking good-ass debater, dude. It's too bad that Nick Fuentes and Vivek haven't had like a non-contentious conversation, because that would be a good debate. If that Vivek debate was done in good faith between both parties, and nothing was off limits, like Nick could fully talk about like America as a puppet state of Israel. See, but you can't. That's the thing. Vivek tried to talk about that like a year ago or something, and then he had to walk that shit back. Vivek ain't walk shit back except that for the most part. He's like, well, I love the Jews in Israel the most, and so I don't think Vivek can have that debate, which is sad, which is actually really, really sad and depressing that like he can't really have the full debate. I think I could be wrong. I don't want to straw man him. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but that's like, as I'm thinking through, I don't know if he can actually do that.
Are you more likely to actually even be able to be a dissident? Right? On one hand, you have a regime that's been in charge that says we're going to censor you on social media. You say the wrong thing about where the pandemic began. You say
Why does he have to sound like Obama? Why does this motherfucker have to sound? Why does everybody got to sound like Obama? Pete Buttigieg, Kamala, Vivek, they all sound like Obama. I mean, I guess it's like if it works, it works. But I don't know, man. Can't people just talk like themselves?
A country of Kamala wins.
Shut up.
right? On one hand, you have a regime that's been in charge that says we're going to censor you on social media. You say the wrong thing about where the pandemic began. You say the wrong thing about the Hunter Biden laptop story. You put an American flag on your profile, you're often targeted for further scrutiny.
It's a good
That's
point,
not America.
man.
So if your top concern is your ability to be an effective dissident from the right, from the left, or whatever, I think this election clearly is about censorship on one side versus free speech on the other. And the fact of the matter is, I think your view that you just expressed here might be pretty high on the Kamala Harris administration list of views that need to actually be
Dude, it's a
silenced
good
by the time she's in
point, bro.
charge. So forget about the actual policy. Even your ability to express it is what I think is on the ballot this time around. And I encourage you to think about it that way.
Thank you
man.
both. I
Thank
really appreciate it.
That's good. Samurai Groyper, very polite. I like it. I think that these things should be polite. I mean, Charlie Kirk is fucking annoying as shit somehow. I don't even dislike him that much. When I see him on War Room and stuff, I don't mind that much. I don't really watch, but I don't mind that much. But him and Ben Shapiro, they're so fucking annoying. It's like I hate their voice the way I hate Tim Pool's voice and Steven Crowder's voice and Rachel Maddow's voice. There's all these people whose voices, Keith Olbermann, like there's just so shut up, Stephen Colbert, Jon Stewart, they're fucking voices. Even Bill Maher for the most part. It's like, shut up. Just shut up. You know, I don't know what it is, man. I think it's because they're just so phony, but I don't know. Or sanctimonious or smug, whatever it is. That's neither here nor there. I am on one of my patented meaningless tangents. So I initially was going to call this the Streisand effect and why I think Vivek is more right. Why was I going to call it the Streisand effect? Oh, yeah. Because I don't agree. Yes. Good. I'm so glad I still have that. I don't think it makes sense to be in the title, but the Streisand effect is really important here because the reason I agree with Vivek, I'm actually going to make a new point that neither one of these people made. I'm not saying like they couldn't make it, but it's that I don't think that the dissent will be quelled if Trump wins and is ineffective or ineffectual or however you say that word because of Twitter. I think that people like the groypers have so much mind share on Twitter that if it's bullshit, the idea will start spreading, right? And it'll spread from them to Stu Peters and Jake Shields and Sneeko and Aiden Ross, and then it might make its way to the Nelk boys like a little bit. I know that's a reach, but you know, it'll make its way to Vinny from PBD. It'll just slowly start like infecting the narrative. It'll certainly make it to people like Orrin McIntyre and like the Blaze people. And there will become like this understanding that this is not what it was cracked up to be. And I think we're in a different landscape. I kind of think that Samurai Groyper, very smart guy. I'm not talking any shit. Like I would enjoy a conversation with someone that smart. My contention would be that he's a little bit behind the times. Like he doesn't, like John Robb understands this very deeply, that these network swarms happen so fast now. Like look what just happened. Dude, Chris Rufo just got taken out today by Chris Brunet. I think it's Brunet. But that actually sounds weird. Maybe it's Brunet. I don't know. I should know that. But like you can't hide things anymore. You can hide it for a little bit, but eventually somebody pulls your card. And if you don't have an answer, right? Like, so Chris Rufo, he can't talk. He effectively cannot enter into the conversation with Chris Brunette because his money, Chris Rufo's money, comes from Paul Singer, who's like this hardcore Jewish Zionist. And so he can't give any sort of because what Chris Brunette is saying about the Manhattan Institute, I mean, I'm talking super inside baseball. Most people will not be having any idea what I'm talking about right now. And what happened there, Chris Rufo can't really even get into the debate, you know, about Bill Ackman's wife because it's like, even though like he can't say it's kind of a good point because it's like Paul Singer's like, what the fuck are you doing, motherfucker? You're insufficiently Zionist, you know, and it's like even if Chris Rufo like is really a rabid Zionist, like there's still an intellectual honesty to being like, well, I mean, he is making a good point, but they don't let you say that. It's like they won't give an inch, and in my opinion, by not giving an inch, they're gonna lose like 10 million miles. It's fascinating. It's like a fascinating case study in group psychology and, you know, the being doomed to repeat history not repeating but rhyming, you know, like all of these things. And so I don't think like it can happen. I think that if it turns out that the groypers are right and Trump is ineffectual and Vivek tries to defend it, Vivek's going to get his card pulled, and then he's going to start getting scared to post on Twitter because he's just going to get ratioed constantly. Like, people are just going to get ratioed. Now, there is a chance they'll try to, like, shut down. That's what Chris Rufo is saying. Oh, these groypers are, you know, the Nazis are so, like, we you know, of course we don't want wokeism, but we also don't want Nazis. And it's like, oh, you evil ass motherfucker. You evil, evil, evil ass motherfucker. Finally, somebody pulled your card. You pulled the card of the wokes and got real uppity. Now your card gets pulled and you pull the same shit that the wokes do because you're like, well, obviously I'm not beyond the pale, but these guys are actually beyond the pale. It's like, whoa, bro. Because if you listen to the groypers, sure, I get it. There's a locker room quality. You are a Jew, right? I get it. But so what, bro? The groypers make a lot of good fucking points that no one else is making. Like a lot. And to try to shut down that many good points because you don't like, you know, the one aspect of the platform because it's hateful. Oof. The path to hell is paved with your fucking dumbass, useful idiot, good intentions. So I do think that if they can't censor the internet and add in some kind of like anti-Semitism hate speech law, we'll see. Then if Trump is ineffectual, I hope I'm using that word correctly, the groypers will fucking chomp down and not let go like a fucking pit bull, and the whole thing will start to unravel, and it'll get real trippy. And like coalitions will just start fracturing, and it'll be giant. It's like, I think that we're going into the war of all against all, you know? Civil wars on the right, civil wars in the left, civil wars among the Jews, civil wars among the Muslims. Just every ideology splitting into factions. I think that's it. But regardless, I think Vivek is correct because you need, like, bro, if that dumb bitch wins, whoa, they're coming for all the marbles. you better fucking have plan B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, bitch. Because they're coming for you. Oof. Oof. So anyway, Trump 2024, biatch. And, Nick knows the deal. Nick's no fucking dummy. He makes good points, though. The fact that the thing is about Nick that these dumb motherfuckers don't realize is the only reason this good-ass dialogue that we just watched between Samurai Groyper and Vivek happened is because Nick forced the issue. Nick forced this conversation, and it's an incredibly important conversation about legal immigration, about America's relationship with foreign nations, especially Israel. And it's not good enough that it's just like you put the Trump brand name on mass migration and, what do you like Zionism, American Zionism, and say, well, it's good because it's Trump. And no one was pointing that out before Nick. People don't give credit. People are fucking so whack, bro. I'm so glad I exist because at least I can see that, even if people have downsides, when people have really good sides, it's like, who fucking cares about their downsides? I mean, of course you can acknowledge them, but it's like there's so few people with a good side that good that you got to put some fucking respect on the name, Shout out to Birdman. Birdman, I think, is a Satanist, but he's a real one, And I don't know what that means. It's like, exactly, right? I can kind of disavow and denounce Birdman's Satanism while at the same time being like, motherfucker's a real one. That dude is a real one. There ain't many Birdmans in the world, if you ask me. If you ask this cracker. So anyway, that was good. That was a good video. 17 minutes. I don't know if anybody's going to watch this video, but if you power through, leave a comment, say, I made it. Otis, I made it. And otherwise, go fuck yourself. All right, peace.
Otis5D.xyz.
Go fuck yourself.